So the first step to setting up a blog is coming up with a domain name. Now, we are going to purchase a domain name and hosting for our website through a service called Bluehost. To show you the URL to get there, this is the web address that will take you directly to the Bluehost page that I'm suggesting you go to. So it's just bit.ly, so bit.ly/Bluehost Udemy. So we'll go ahead and paste that URL into our browser, and it'll take us right to Bluehost. Now, when thinking about a domain to choose, this is going to be the address that people are going to type in to get to your website. So you're really going to want to think about what to choose as far as your domain name goes. And this is tricky because there are a lot of them that are taken, and it's difficult to change your domain name later. So you may want to take some time to think about, your domain name and come back to choosing this later. Ask some people what they think and all of that when it comes to, choosing your domain name. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to WordPress hosting right here in the products tab. Now they have optimized WordPress hosting starting at $12.49 per month. That's a really good fee for monthly hosting WordPress and having it be optimized for WordPress. There are a lot of different hosting platforms that you can get. Some of them are not going to be optimized for what's needed for WordPress, and some of them will be. Some of them are overpriced, and you don't necessarily need some of these bigger packages like an enterprise package or a business package. If you're just starting out with your blog or your website, you're going to be totally fine with this $12.49 per month package, which includes more than enough storage, backup, and everything that you need right here. Now, if you are going to be selling or doing anything more advanced, you will need a more advanced package, but you can always upgrade to that package. So I suggest just starting out with the $12.49 per month package. So we're going to select that. So it's going to ask if you have a new domain name that you want to purchase or if you already have a domain name. Say you bought a domain name earlier at GoDaddy or one of the other domain websites out there. You can put the domain name in here, and Bluehost will walk you through the process of setting up your hosting account for WordPress with that domain name. Now, we're going to search for a new domain name. So I'm going to title this domain starting a WordPress blog.com. And click on next. Now this is probably going to be taken, so let's see exactly what results we get. So you can see that this is not available for registration, but it gives us some alternatives as to domain names we can choose. Now I'm always for starting out with a .com if you can, but if a .com is not available, you can always go with something else. So here's a .com, starting a WordPress blog site.com. And so if maybe that's something that I would be okay with, I could select that one and go from there. So let's go ahead and select that option. Now, if that option wasn't good for you, you can always go back and search for a new domain name. So now we're going to want to enter in our account information. So we'll go ahead and enter that information into the boxes. And then down below where our package information is, this is the package that we chose. That's our hosting price. We have a setup fee of free. Our domain name registration is included. You can choose domain privacy protection if you want your name, address, and phone number to be blocked. Your contact information that you just entered above is going to be publicly available unless you choose the domain privacy protection. If you don't choose domain privacy protection, It's public knowledge. Anybody can type in your domain name into a Whois search and find that information. So for the small fee, if you want to hide that information, it's worth it. For me, it's not that big of a deal because I used a post office box, so I don't typically choose that option because I'm not using my home address. But if you're using your home address as your billing address, then you may want to choose that domain privacy option. Site Backup Pro is a good option because WordPress is a database-driven type of platform, which means that all of the data and information that you enter into your website is going to be stored in a database at Bluehost. So if anything is to happen to that, having a good backup solution in place is pretty important. So you can choose that option if you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and remove these options for me. Search Engine Jumpstart is an option that has Bluehost submit your website to the search engines right from the beginning. These days, it's not extremely important because the search engines like Google and Bing are pretty quick to crawl new websites. But for a small fee, it's not a bad idea. Google Apps for Work is a way for you to get email, Google class email, set up automatically with your domain name. So Bluehost comes with a standard email. It's not the best. It doesn't have great spam protection, and it doesn't come with really neat features like Google Docs, Google Drive, and all of that stuff. So if you like the Gmail platform and you want to be able to use that with your domain name, so your email address could be jared@startingawordpressblogsite.com, but using the Gmail platform, excuse me, that you are accustomed to liking, maybe because you've used Gmail before, you can choose this option and they'll automatically sign you up for that. Then the next process is entering in your credit card information. I'm going to go ahead and enter in this information, and we'll see you in the next video. All right, so I've entered my payment information, and on the next screen, we are presented with some options. Keep in mind that these options will change as Blue Domain adds new services and products. What they've offered here is a quick start coaching session, which will help you understand, the tools with your hosting and all of that stuff for $29.99. Now, I have a course that will walk you through using WordPress, and it's actually a free course, and so I don't believe that you actually need to do this. You can go and use my free course, and you don't need to do this $30 coaching session. The option to add additional domain names may seem alluring because you might want to try and lock down all of the different variations of your domain name. However, unless you have a good reason for that, I wouldn't recommend going and buying all of those domain names unless you really plan to either do something with them or if you want to really prevent anybody else from having them. Of course, if I don't buy them, somebody can go and buy the .net version or the .org version of my domain name, but that doesn't really bother me in most cases, especially if I have the .com. Another option is SEO link building. I don't typically suggest signing up for anything that seems like an automatic SEO link building tool. You have to really be careful with this because if you pay for links, you potentially could end up getting blocked from Google. So without knowing a lot more about this service, I would recommend bypassing it and not signing up for it. We'll go ahead and click complete to complete our order. We chose no additional options here. Now it's going to ask me to create my password. So I'll go ahead and create my password in a new tab here. It opens up, and so it's asking me to make a really strong password. So I'm going to go ahead and type in what I think will be a really strong password. Of course, it says my password's weak, although that is a pretty strong password. You want to make sure you choose a strong password here, even if it means writing it down somewhere or using the password generator, because if somebody was to guess your password, oh, and look, I need to have a symbol in my password, I'm just going to use their password generator. If you don't choose a strong enough password and somebody's actually able to hack your hosting account, they could wreak all sorts of havoc on your website. So this is the strong password. Obviously, it's something that I would never be able to remember. So make sure that you copy it to your clipboard and then paste it in place and then create your password. And then make sure that you write your password down somewhere where you will remember it. I'm going to go ahead and place it here in my little document that I have opened. All right, so now we're able to log in to our hosting account. I'm going to go ahead and paste in my password and submit so that I can log in. The previous tab that we had opened is just a congratulations page that gives me my account information and tells me exactly what I signed up for. I can actually go ahead and close this page. So now that we're logged into our hosting account, we're going to go ahead and get WordPress set up, and we'll start that in the next video. All right, so when you return, you will want to start from your home page here. So just go ahead and click on home if you're not seeing what I'm seeing, and it should take you back to this page. There may be a dashboard or a screen that shows up here. If it doesn't show up, you can click on Get Started to basically see the same thing. So I clicked on Get Started. It says Welcome to Bluehost. It says we've already installed WordPress in your account. That's the nice thing about this hosting package that we just set up, is that it went ahead and installed WordPress and got it basically set up for us. So now we have the option to either set up our new WordPress installation or move WordPress from an existing location. So let's click on Set Up WordPress. Now, Manage WP is an option that comes as part of your hosting account with Bluehost that allows you to manage your WordPress installation fairly easily. It also allows you to manage multiple WordPress installations easier should you build out more WordPress websites in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and enter in my email address. And I'm going to put in a password. And then click Continue. So what this is doing is it's configuring my account here. So it says choose your username and your password. This is going to be for our WordPress. So whatever you want to use to log into your website every time is what you'll want to enter here. So I'm just going to enter my first and last name, and then I'm going to put a password in place and click Complete Setup. All right, so now I have some URLs and some information that's going to be important to me. This is my website address. Obviously, this is kind of a given. You knew when you bought that domain name that that's what your website address was going to be. However, to log into the back end of WordPress so that you can write blogs and post content, you're going to need this URL here. So I recommend saving this somewhere. You can easily add this as a bookmark to your browser so it's easy for you to access, or you can save it as a quick link on your desktop or something like that. Keep in mind that your username is that username that we just created, and your password is the password that we also just created. So I already have, well, I'll just go ahead and close out of it so we can open it with this link. I'll go ahead and click this link. I'm going to open it in a new tab just to make sure. And this is our WordPress backend. Now, if I was to go to the other link, which is this link here, it's going to show us the front end of WordPress. So this is our website, which is very plain and basic. This course isn't about customizing WordPress, but I am going to give you a few tips on that. So when we log into the back end, we're going to want to enter in our username and the password. Click on Remember Me so that your browser will remember you. And you can even click Save Password if the browser that you're using supports that. And now we're in the back end of WordPress. So we're ready to go in and start blogging, or pretty much, start putting content in and setting up our website. I have another course that I will link to at the end of this one so that you can go and learn about that process. So at this point, WordPress is installed and set up and ready to go. There aren't really any other steps left to do other than to style your website so that it looks good. We're going to do that in the next video. All right, so now that we have WordPress installed, we need to make it look good. As I mentioned in the last video, WordPress looks very basic. And not that this theme itself can't look great. Let me actually show you this theme in action on another website that I think looks okay for it being the standard WordPress theme. This is the same theme as what we just looked like, but it's configured, and this is just a website where, funny things found on the internet are posted, but nonetheless, it's using the standard WordPress 2014 theme. So when you're in the back end of your WordPress, there's an option over here called Appearance, and then Themes. Since you bought your website through, or bought your hosting through Blue Domain, there is an option called Mojo Themes through the Marketplace, and then there's also WordPress.org themes. Most themes under WordPress.org themes are free, and there are a lot of really good-looking themes that you can choose from. As you can see, a lot of these themes are really good-looking. You can click on the featured ones to see featured themes, popular themes, latest, premium themes, or you can use the filter option to filter based on the colors that you want to go with, the type of layout, the type of features that it has, and then if there's some sort of subject matter that you can choose from, like a category type. So under featured, for example, if we wanted to install one of these themes or even see what it would look like on our website, all we'd have to do is either click on preview to preview what it would look like on our website, which, considering the fact we haven't done anything to our website yet, it's not going to look like this theme does. There is going to be a little bit of setup and configuration, and that's something that I talk about in another course. But you can install and get started with one of these themes. So if this theme looked good, we can click on install, and it's going to go ahead and take us through the quick process of installing the theme. You can see that it has now installed the theme. We can either live preview or activate the theme. So let's go ahead and activate the theme. So that's all that there was to activating the theme. Now if we go and view our website and just refresh the page, you can see our website looks completely different. So now begins the process of customizing your theme using the customize option underneath appearance. And like I said, that's for another course. This course was simply to get you started on getting a WordPress website installed and ready to go. And I think we've accomplished that. So in future videos that you can get to with the link below, I walk you through the process of how to use WordPress. There are a lot of sections in WordPress such as posts, media, pages, settings, users, all of that stuff. I answer all those questions and walk you through that process in my beginner's guide to using WordPress, which is available at the link below. And it is a free course. So make sure that you check that out.